Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the Azure Takeoff Show. And we have today a very special guest, Rory Preddy. Hello, Rory. How are you?
Hello, Tim. I'm so excited to be here today.
That's great. And we are excited even to have you on the show. So, what are we going to look at it today, Rory?
Well, recently, I've decided to do quite a few presentations and education, and not only education, but I call it education with entertainment, edutainment. And one of the things I want to highlight is how easy it is to make coding fun and effective using AI bots. So I phoned you up and I said, I want to give you a demonstration on GitHub Copilot and also a secret surprise with another bot that we're going to showcase today. So I'm going to show you GitHub Copilot and how to get started. I've got some live demos, and then also I'm going to show you some very, very exciting new features with ChatGPT a little bit later.
You have raised up the bars very high now. So, we are so excited. Let's go jump right into it. So, you mentioned GitHub Copilot. What is GitHub Copilot here?
So OpenAI has two companies. It has the open source company that you can go in and you can use their tooling for free. And then it has a for-profit entity that partners with sponsors to be able to create solutions for them. So Microsoft partnered with OpenAI. We funded them, and we have now usage for their codex, the GPT-3. And the GPT-3 was trained on 100 plus billion parameters across multiple repositories, mainly Python. And as a result, we took that codex and we tweaked it a bit to make it a little bit more efficient. And we allowed it to go in and scan your context of what you're trying to achieve. So it goes in there, looks at your projects, you've installed it there, and then you give it prompts to say, I need help with this. And it will go help you by suggesting solutions to the problem that you've identified. And then using that AI model, you can go in and create your solutions.
That is great. So, as a developer, where do I go and access GitHub Copilot?
So you can sign up for GitHub Copilot. It's available now for individuals, for teams and enterprises, and you can access it like you would normally with your GitHub services. So you can sign it up. It's $10 a month per user. And once you get access to it, wherever you log into GitHub, so your IDE, your editor, your tooling, you would be able to, as soon as you log in, use GitHub Copilot. And it's available now in nearly every tool that I've opened up that you can access it. It's got, have you ever heard of NeoVim? That's
No.
Vim, one of the new versions. It's on IntelliJ, the JetBrains tools, Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio. And once you open it up, it'll scan your project that you're currently using. Obviously, it's confidential. It won't share that code. And then we'll go, I know what you are currently looking at. Prompt me to help you. And I've got a nice little demo that we'll show you a little bit later that it already knows more about that demo than me. And I'm going to prompt it with a few words to ask it to help me out.
That is amazing. So, you being an accessibility champ, I'm 100% sure you should have something where you could show us where you can bring GitHub Copilot with accessibility in that case.
One of the things that Microsoft has is a fund called AI for Accessibility, that we go in and we identify projects that help people and aid them in accessible requirements. I don't know if you ever saw Seeing AI. It's an iPhone app that allows you to see the area around you and prompt people who have visual accessibility requirements. So AI for accessibility is very important to Microsoft. And this forms part of my drive as an advocate to go in and show people how they can utilize smart tools, smart ways to make accessibility easy. And I'm going to show you in the demo how quickly I created a web page, made it accessible, and had fun doing it.
That is amazing. Let us deep dive in the demo and let's see how it works.
Great. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is the project. You can go in there. It's on github.com, Rory P, test Copilot. And this is my GitHub account here. And you can go into and you can see what I've got with GitHub. Now, I get access to GitHub Copilot because I am a Microsoft staff. And you can see here, I've got GitHub Copilot already set up there. And I've got, because my organization has those settings, which means that every time I go into an IDE, as long as I log in with my GitHub credentials, I should have access. So I've got this project here, test Copilot. And then I have opened it up in IntelliJ. Now, IntelliJ, I've got an index.html file here. And that index.html file this is the standard boilerplate. If you go in there, file, new, and you can go project. This is the standard boilerplate there, HTML. You can see there, HTML5 boilerplate. So I started with that. And then I said, I need to show them some nice accessibility improvements for this file. So the first thing I wanted to do, I left the head here, but I wanted to create a video with captions. So I've got a nice video, and I used video index here. So audio video index here. I've got a screen magnifier demo here. And then on that, I wanted to create the caption file. So I loaded it up. I went into the download, closed captions, and I just downloaded the VTT file. And I've got the magnifier sample video. And you can see there, I've got the timeline. If I hit start here, it's actually going to follow the timeline there. And if I wanted to modify the timeline, I can actually go in and the sound's off there, but I can actually go and edit it there and change those captions if I wanted to. So I've got that there. Now I wanted to add that to the IntelliJ. So I said, embed a video tag with a video called magnifier sample video.mp4. And a captions file called magnify sample video.vtt. And then I just went in there and I hit enter. Now it gives me a sample, and I can actually go in and cycle through the suggested changes and choose the one I want. And then I've already chosen the one that I wanted here. And this is the end result. But you'll see there, it also added one thing that GitHub didn't do. It made it accessible. And then I'm going to show you exactly my other friend, ChatGPT, exactly what it did for me and how easy it was there. So I've got that video file there. I've embedded, and I needed a form. And I wanted a basic form, a name, an email, and a message. So I just put in their form, and it goes, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to create a form. And I can cycle through it. This is Windows key and bracket. And you'll see there, it actually gives me the action, all of the different fields, and it does it in a nice way. So I've added that in. But look at that. Now I've got the field, but I also added the tab indexes. Yeah. And I want to show you how ChatGPT did that also. And then finally, I wanted to create some JavaScript because I want to show you how to do JavaScript. And here I've got a JavaScript function to alert the form data. And then I hit enter. It scans the file. It knows that I want to do what I want to do. You want to print out the form data there. I've got the form data there, and it alerts it. And I've got my JavaScript there, print form data. Let's run this. So let's go here, and we're going to go run.index.js. And I've got my my actual caption file here. And Belen Shamma, one of my colleagues, the captions are coming through here. And I've got now also my form. And I can hit submit, and it's going to alert it. And I can check whether this is accessible by going into Accessibility Insights. And this is a free tool that you can get as a Chrome or Edge plugin. And then I can go FastPass and check that. WCAG compliant there. And I can even click on tab stops. I can click on the visual helper. Let's go check if there's tab index here. And we can go in there, and let's just go refresh that again. There's the tab index. And it can actually go in and check that look at that the tab index was done correctly and everything is accessible. Now, all of this was great, but I wanted a little bit more. I wanted to create the tab index. So I went into my friend GPT. I took the file once I had finished working with it. I took the whole file, and then I just said to ChatGPT, remember that is OpenAI GPT-3 also, and I said, make this code accessible. and I just paste it in the code. And it's going to
Nice.
go accessible there. And then it's going to give me the suggestions. And right at the end, you can actually say, generate the suggestions for me and give me the final output. And that final output is exactly what we just demoed there. It went in and identified all of the fields that I had with the tab index and added the tab index for me. And that's everything I wanted to show you today. You can let's just wait for it to finish there. And finally, I want to show you one more little, not toy, but friend I have, and that is Dolly. So I've got a presentation coming up, and I want you to create a picture of me holding hands with an AI. And I said to Dolly, a accessible required person sitting in a wheelchair, holding hands with a humanoid android, walking off into the sunset, AI for accessibility. And everything is done. I've got 4 robots that are helping me, AI that are helping me as I progress. And it's fun to do this. And, I wake up in the morning now and I go, oh my gosh, coding and programming is fun. I've got support here. If I don't understand something, I can ask ChatGPT.
Yes.
I can just go generate the above suggestions for me in code. And it's gonna tell me if it can or can't. And as you can see, they're experiencing high demand. Here's the updated code for the suggestions, and it types it for me. I do feel a little bit spoiled, but like I've been coding for 23 years. This is a great change.
This is amazing. I'm mind blown over here, Roddy. This is such great stuff. Actually, you've shown so many things in the videos that I have to actually put everything down in the show description so that each part of the technology the audience can go ahead and use it. So we actually talked about FastPass. We talked about the accessibility insights for web, and an amazing tool, the Azure Video Indexer. It was such a pain to create the captions, and now it's like you just upload the video and boom, you have the whole timeline. You can edit that timeline and you can export it in whatever format you need. So yeah, that's an amazing tool.
Yeah, but Video Indexer also gives you the ability to look at sentiment for your talk. So it takes a lot of the Azure cognitive services and gives you insight into your videos like I've never seen before. You can go into here, and if you see here under, let's go in there, insights, it can tell me, okay, cool, what keywords you have, the labels, the named entities, the scenes, and of course, it's got the captions. And if you sign up for the facial recognition, it'll actually tell you who is in your talk.
Thanks a lot, Roddy, for coming on the show. It was really insightful, and we want you back on the show again and again. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.